Welcome to the DeFi podcast, where we discuss all things DeFi. We host in-depth discussions with industry leaders with a focus on the Avalanche ecosystem. The content of this podcast is for informational purposes only. Statements made by hosts or guests reflect their own beliefs and opinions and is not investment advice. The hosts or guests may have personal investments in any assets being discussed.
Welcome back to the DeFi podcast. Today we're talking to Celso. He's the CTO at BlockPay. BlockPay is entering into the frontier of real-world payments using crypto as a basis for their financial transactions. So welcome, Celso, to the podcast.
Thank you very much, Jared, for the invitation.
No problem. So just before we get into it, can you tell me a little bit about your team? Tell me about your project and how you got this whole thing started.
Yes, of course. Well, we started around 6 or 7 years ago. We didn't started with BlockPay. We actually, the core team, we were 6 people in total. And we started with a crypto hedge fund. Well, maybe even before the crypto hedge fund, all of us started individually trading, spot buying Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. And there started this, a lot of people, friends, family asking us like, oh, I want to get involved in the cryptocurrency, but I don't know how to do it. Please take my money. And we were like, okay, there's an opportunity here. Why not offer it? And we joined forces and we founded a hedge fund. And this started growing. We did good. There was also good market conditions. There was a bull run, and we managed to generate good profits for our clients. But there was an issue that we didn't have the means to off ramp, to pay to our clients because they didn't want the cryptocurrency; they wanted fiat currency. So there was this issue, like, okay, how do we facilitate paying to our clients? And that's how, through the time, we met a lot of people, we made contacts, and we met some people that offered us a Visa license to issue. In that moment, there were Visa cards, prepaid cards. And we saw the opportunity to issue these cards, to partner with these people and offer these cards to our clients and pay their profits to this card so they could easily spend that money wherever they wanted. And they fell in love with this because, our clients didn't care about Bitcoin. They were not Bitcoiners. They didn't see this long-term vision. They just wanted the profit, in fiat currency, Mexican peso in our case. And we offer these cards to our clients, and they fell in love. And we saw that it was a very good business. So we started issuing cards for other purposes, not just crypto. For example, payrolls and things like that are not crypto at all. But all the companies that offer this kind of products, they charge a small commission. So we always envision to not depend so much on trading, but to build something that could generate a constant cash flow with something that was not that risky. So with this partnership, there was also an opportunity to issue point of sale terminals, which are these machines where are in businesses so they can accept credit or debit card payments. So we started expanding towards these financial services that actually had nothing to do with crypto. It was traditional finance. But because we had the crypto background, we started mixing them up. Okay, there is a payroll in fiat currency, but there are also clients that they liquidate crypto through us, our own clients, to pay them in fiat currency. And then people that didn't have investment with us, they started looking for us for these same services. Like, I want to liquidate my crypto and have that money on a financial instrument that I can use anywhere. And that's how we started to expand from hedge fund to something more robust, And that's how BlockPay was born, basically through necessity from our previous clients from the hedge fund and how we started growing. And we saw the opportunity, and we actually liquidated our most of our clients in the hedge fund, and we made a full transition towards offering this kind of financial services, especially in the payment sector. Visa cards. Then we got the permit to issue also Mastercard, and the point of sale terminals. Well, they are actually our current core business, and it generates the most cash flow because we charge a small percentage on all card transactions. And right now we have more than 1,000 point of sale terminals in several businesses. And there is this case, particularly in Mexico, where more than 90% of all transactions in the country, they are still made in cash. Around 70% of all businesses, they still don't have the means to accept debit or card payments. So there is a huge market opportunity here in Mexico because after the COVID pandemic, more people are using digital means of payments, plastic, online banking, and stuff like this, because the government disincentivized the use of cash because this was a means of virus transmission. So there is a growing tendency on people using less cash and new ways of payment. And we are banking from that because there is a huge opportunity. There are a lot of businesses that they still don't have a point of sale terminal, and they are very welcome to accept this kind of services. And here in Mexico, there are maybe three major players, but they don't have the monopoly on all the market. So a lot of small players like us are starting to get into the market, into the payments market. And Mexico, the payments market, I think it's around 150 billion US dollars per year. So it's a huge market and a huge opportunity. And now, because we have the crypto background, we are starting to, we already offer it, but we upgraded our services. Now we have an application, BlockPay, which people can download, and now they can fund their cards through the application. And we're also working towards a software on our point of sale terminals so they can also accept cryptocurrency. So businesses that have our point of sale terminal and they accept just card payments. Now in the future, they will also be able to accept crypto payments. And I think this is going to be huge for mainstream adoption.
Yeah, it's actually pretty impressive. You guys actually have a pretty decently sized team too, right?
Yeah, we're more than 50 people now. We started with a 6 core team, and we grew so much that I don't even have the exact number, but we are more than 50 people because there are also brokers. Our main business model of how we offer the point of sale terminals, our main marketing strategy is through brokers. Brokers get a small commission from businesses where they put the point of sale terminal, and that's how we are rolling our products and services. And it has worked very well. And one of the core state here in Mexico where we have the most volume is actually in the state of Quintana Roo, which is where Cancun is located. Cancun, Tulum, Playa del Carmen, all these touristic places. So there is a huge income from those businesses that are using our point of sale terminals because these are highly touristic places. And there are a lot of hotels and restaurants, which are our main clients. And there is a huge influx of foreigners, especially towards Tulum. There is a new airport, there is a new train, and Tulum is actually becoming a crypto hub internationally. And that's where we have our main presence.
That's interesting. Do you guys think that you have a unique opportunity there to break into the market, at least with offering crypto and digital payment services, because cash is so much more common there?
Yeah, that's right. I think that here in Mexico, a lot of people use cash because I think that we don't trust that much the traditional banking system or banking applications and things like this. Mexican people, I think we are a little bit lagging behind adopting this kind of technologies because trust issues. I'm 32 years old, and basically my whole generation, a lot of friends of the same age as me, they don't carry cash anymore. They see it as an inconvenience and they carry their card everywhere. And there is like this meme, you think that you can pay anywhere with your card, but you're wrong because a lot of businesses here in Mexico, they don't accept credit card payments. But I think this is a growing tendency, and we have seen it. I mean, there is data that is telling us that the cash usage is declining, even if it's little by little, but it's declining because it's an inconvenience. I think the only two reasons that people still use cash is because of lack of trust, one, and two, because I think there is also like hatred towards government, and using cash is a way to not pay that much taxes. So I think that's another
Right.
reason for people to keep using cash.
So, just one more question on this same topic. Do you think that people would be more readily accepting of crypto as a means of transaction, especially because it's a decentralized system? So, like if you own your keys, you own your crypto, you can't necessarily have someone coming in and just dipping their hands into your wallet when it's on blockchain because it's completely owned by you. Nobody has access to it. Do you think they'd be more open to crypto as opposed to banks for this purpose?
I think this is a very special question. I don't know how to say it because, I mean, in Mexico, we are still adopting technology that was invented literally 50 years ago, which are plastic cards. But in another point, we are like the fifth country in Latin America with the highest adoption. I think we are even the second, just behind Brazil. And we are the second or at most the third country in Latin America with the most crypto adoption. But I don't know. I mean, I give several points of view. Like, for example, my family is like very huge. There are like 100 people in my family, and from all the people, I'm the only one using crypto. And I have told them about crypto, the benefits of using crypto several times for the last 8 years, and none of them have adopted. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm the one that I'm not explaining these things okay, but I think their interest in people on using crypto for traditional payments is still very lagging behind. Like maybe we are the third option in crypto adoption in Latin America, but mostly because of speculation, but not because people want to use it as a mean of payments. I mean, it's kind of tricky to answer that question, but I answer it from several points of views that I have seen. I don't know a lot of people that use crypto for payments, and I think the infrastructure is still very new for people to just arrive to your business and I want to pay with Bitcoin. And but what network? The mainnet or Lightning? I don't know. Maybe Lightning because the mainnet Bitcoin transactions fees are too high. Or here I want to pay with USDT. I think it's still very tricky. But what we offer through our card payments, through our BlockPay prepaid cards, it's very convenient because people can fund them with several crypto, with Bitcoin, with USDT on the Avalanche network or the Tron network, and then they can pay whenever they want. And the business owner doesn't have to care or understand anything about crypto or blockchain. They just accept the card and that's it. And that's our reality right now. Like people, they are barely adapting to card payments. So we are not going to obligate or to push businesses to accept crypto or something that they don't understand, but we are anyway facilitating people with crypto. We are giving them the means to pay in any business that they want without the need for the business owner to know about crypto. And I think that's huge. I think that's a very strong step towards mainstream adoption. Like, yeah, we are far away from paying directly peer-to-peer on the business with Bitcoin and other crypto, but we are offering anyways a mean to off-ramp that crypto and pay wherever they want with a plastic card, which is the financial instrument, which here in Latin America we are still learning how to use or adapting, in our daily lives. At least in people older than my generation. But my generation, I think we are adapting very well to plastic cards. And maybe Gen Z or the younger generations, maybe they can start adopting like more naturally these kind of Web3 technologies. But we are still going to see.
I think there's a lot of hesitance in the traditional financial markets to touch anything having to do with crypto, right? There is definitely a little bit more legitimacy now that you see things like Bitcoin ETFs coming to market and a few of these different things. But payment processors and banks are still very hesitant to go into business with people who are primarily their thing is crypto. So, what has the process been for you as a business starting off from crypto and then transacting with the payment processor to get your transactions? What's the integration process been like?
Okay. Well, we actually have not had that much of the problem with banking or our payment servers because there is like a previous step where people, when they found crypto, to use our cards. There's one thing that I have to mention, that we are not custodians of of cryptocurrency from our clients. As soon as a client found his or her card, that crypto, we liquidate it at the moment. We give the equivalent in fiat currency at the moment in Mexican peso to the user. So in the application, they can see how much Mexican peso they have, but not how much Bitcoin or USDT, because we swap it instantly to fiat currency. So in this previous step, what we do, we liquidate it through several service providers. One of the main exchanges here in Mexico is called Bitso. They are huge. They exist for like 10 years, and they already have like 7 million users. So this is one of the providers that we sometimes use to liquidate our crypto, to have Mexican peso, and then put it on our users' account. So because everything we manage is ultimately in fiat currency, we don't have any problem with the payment processors, because it's like, okay, this user has 10,000 Mexican peso. Okay, that's it. If the user uses his card or her card, then everything goes smoothly, because on a previous step, we already sold that cryptocurrency into fiat currency. So that's the maybe something like a necessary evil, if you want to see it that way, because most of prepaid cards, they do hold the crypto, and when you spend whenever you want, then that crypto gets swapped into fiat currency. We couldn't do that here in Mexico because it was more complicated. So we found this way to get things more smooth, and that works for us. Yeah, because we manage everything in fiat currency when you have to use the card or the point of sale terminals. But in a previous step, we always liquidated crypto into fiat currency so that the user can use his or her card. And we always, we always tell our clients, like, okay, you hold your crypto, you are your own custodian, and you can hold zero balance in the card. But as soon as you know that you're going to spend maybe 1,000 Mexican pesos, then you fund your card for that equivalent money, and then you use it, and that's it. And if you want to use it again, well, then you fund your card and then use it anywhere. But that's how we basically work.
Okay, interesting. So your contact with the actual payment processor when it comes to dealing with the crypto part of things is, I guess, pretty easy, since there's not really much crypto to be mentioned.
Exactly. Yeah.
Dealt with.
Yeah. We always have our bank accounts with fiat currency, and whenever a user uses his or her card, that money it's connected with our main banking accounts, which hold fiat currency. And
Right.
anytime that we get crypto, we liquidate that and we fund these banking accounts, and that's why we don't have any kind of trouble.
There's a pretty strong community with a focus on privacy in the crypto world. I'm just wondering what the approach you guys have to the privacy aspect, where some people may want to remain private when doing some of these transactions. Is that going to be a possibility? What's that going to be like for people who want to, let's say, use your services, but also remain anonymous or private on the blockchain?
Well, that's a very tricky question. I'm all for privacy. I think it's one of our main human rights to have privacy, and also privacy of transaction. You can do whatever you want with your life behind doors, and I think you can transact with anyone you want privately, without government watching you over to whatever you do, because that's what they look for, to have more power on us. With the CBDCs coming and all these, I think it's quite scary what they are building to get rid of our privacy. And it's quite tricky because I would like to see like a utopia where people can transact completely privately with a very very small government, like as small as it could be, but we have to adapt to reality. Like there are regulatory frameworks, and this is quite difficult for me because sometimes I fight with the legal team because of this. And it has been like one of the lessons that I have learned. Like, we cannot have like a utopia where everything is Web3 and everyone has complete privacy and stuff. But right now we do offer the option to use the card without KYC, but there are limitations. It's not like you can buy a house or a car with our cards. I mean, our cards can be used for daily expenses like food or utilities or any kind of bills, and but you cannot buy like a car or something that huge with our products because we have the limitations from regulation, you know. But we are like adapting always or moving towards, okay, we can take the opportunity if the government doesn't let you spend more than, for example, 50,000 US dollars per month, okay, then that's our limit, and we can work with that without the need of asking a strict KYC to our clients. We're going to offer it as an option when the version 2 of our application is already online, because that's something that Mexican regulation allows us. Like literally, like we tell the government, like, okay, look at our application. We are offering the option to the people that, okay, they can KYC or not, but I'm complying with your rules. Like this is literally what you are allowing me, so we can operate without getting into trouble. But yeah, I mean, I would like personally to offer this forever, but we do know that governments are pushing towards more surveillance and that. So we are always constantly monitoring what's the current legal status on this, especially here in Mexico. But yeah, I mean, it's quite sad, but we have to adapt to regulations. And what can we do about that? I mean, if people want complete privacy, maybe in some years there, maybe in El Salvador, they adopt Monero, and maybe all the transactions are completely peer-to-peer with Monero or the Bitcoin Lightning Network with I don't know. But if you use traditional financial instruments like plastic cards or point of sale terminals, you have to be compliant. And I mean, I personally think it's my opinion, it kind of sucks, but you have to adapt, you have to comply. And what can we do about that?
I think that's a pretty good answer.